Hi guys, so in this video I'm gonna be telling you about 3D modeling and animation, and but first of all you guys should know about Blender. So if you guys don't know about Blender, it is a software that is used for 3D modeling and animation, and you can pretty much do a lot with that software, and it is used for designing and animation and a lot of other things. So you guys saw the animation which I made in Blender recently, and I'm gonna be teaching you how to do that in a few minutes from now on. First of all, you should know about the basics of Blender. In order to do this animation or any animation which you want to do, you guys should know the basics of Blender, of the overall software. You should know how to operate the UI of the software, which I learned from just playing with the software, just downloading some 3D model of anything and just or making my own 3D models and just animating it or just playing with it. I'm gonna do the same animation again in front of you guys so that you can see how I did it and learn from it, and I hope that you will learn a lot from this video, because I've seen a lot of people who do these Blender tutorial, but they are not beginner friendly, and I am assuming that you guys don't know a lot about Blender, so you guys requested it, so this video is specifically for you guys. So there you go, I have opened the basic layout of Blender software. So there you go, I have opened the Blender software, and my project, which is basically this car, it's basically Nissan GTR. I'm going to animate it in front of you guys. I know it may look a lot of complex at first, seeing the UI of the software. There are a lot of buttons, there are a lot of things you can do, there are a lot of features of this software, but I hope that it'll be easy for you if you start practicing. It's all about practice of the software. We have this 3D model and we want to animate it. Keeping in mind, we don't want to animate any other thing. We don't want to animate the environment. This is the button of the software which puts you in animation mode, from which you can animate the 3D model wherever you like, wherever you can. It can be a plane, it can be a cube, it can be a tree, it can be anything which you desire. Let's just say I don't want to move the car. I just want to animate the camera. I want the camera to be rotating around the car. I want the camera to be rotating around the car, like it's rotating around the car. It might look way cooler. And it's nighttime mode, and all of the car's lights are on, as you saw in the animation in the starting of the video. So how to do it? It's pretty easy to do that if you are familiar with the software, which comes with practice. So I have clicked on the camera, which is this is the camera. This is the camera. One of the best things I like about this software is that the camera of this software is very basic and very easy to operate. Let me just click on the camera mode. This is the camera mode. So I clicked on it, it came in its camera mode, and you can see that it's showing what the camera is seeing and what the animation will look like when I will animate. Here is the focal length, which you can just adjust like this. It's basically for cinematic purposes. You can just you can have a pretty basic animation or a very cinematic specific animation, depending upon the type of animation you want. It just comes with professionalism. Just say it's a zoom feature of the camera. So, and you can shift the camera's X and Y axis. This is the Y axis and this is the X axis. So I have adjusted it. So now it's just showing the car, not anything else in the environment. It's just standing in there. The car will keep standing there, and the camera will just rotate. The camera will rotate around the car. So I will go in Z-axis mode so that I can see how the camera will rotate around the car. And now it's 0 frame. Keep in mind that the frame 0 is the place from where the animation will start. Now I will just press G on my keyboard Now what happened is that the camera has been selected and I can just move the camera wherever I want. But you can see that the camera is still tracking the object I have selected. It's because I have already selected the tracking feature, which is in this portion. It's called object constraint properties. Yeah, like I said, the camera comes with a lot of features. You can just select tracking. Just the tracking will just track the object which you have selected. I have selected in this portion. I have selected the car's specific material which I wanted to select, and it's tracking it. Wherever I am moving it, it's just tracking the object wherever I'm moving it. So that's a cool property which will help you so much in animation. It looks so cool, and it's amazing. So I want the camera to be like this. The camera is here, and just let me see how it looks. Yeah, it looks cool. So I will press I on my keyboard, and the I is the keyframe. The keyframe is very important in animation, and the keyframes tell the camera where to move next in the next frame or so. So I pressed I on my keyboard and I have to select location. The location means basically that the camera will only move in X, Y axis and not rotate anywhere. No, I don't want that. I want that to be anything, like it can rotate, it can scale, it can have custom properties. I am selecting this because I know that the camera can freely move around and it can rotate, it can do whatever I command it to. So I have selected it. I usually select it, but you can use any other property you want based, like I said, based on your desire and the level of professionalism you want in this animation. So you can see here that the 4 dots are here. The 4 dots tell you that the first frame the camera is standing here, and now I'm getting to, let's just say, 50 frames, 50th frame. Now I'm on 50th frame and I want the camera to come from here to here. Let's just see how it goes. I'll just take the camera and here, and now I'll again press I, which is the keyframe. Any one of you guys who has a little bit of video editing experience will know what a keyframe is. Just know that keyframe is basically a feature which tells the object or any camera or whatever you have selected, it will tell it where to go or what to do next in the next frame, because the animation is a sequence of frames. It's just not a one picture, it's a combination of a lot of other pictures. I will press again I to select the keyframe. Let me just show you what I did from 0 to 50. Now you can see that the camera is moving. So it's a pretty fast animation. So I want it to be slow. How will I get it slow? There are 2 options which I learned from my experience. First option is you can lower the frame rate. The frame rate is basically 60 FPS, 120 FPS. You guys have heard of it. So FPS is basically related to the camera feature. It's basically a camera feature that allows the camera to capture pictures within a specific time range. For example, 60 FPS means, in other words, 60 frames will be displayed within 1 second. But I don't prefer it. Why I don't prefer it? Because as you lower the frame rate, the animation will not be smooth enough. Now, the other option is take this keyframe, just press G and move it further. In this case, I have totally selected my total frames are 130. So this is the max I can go in this is the period of my animation. My FPS is 60, which is pretty smooth. Let's just see how much smooth it is. It's pretty slow and smooth now, as you can see, and the camera is tracking it so good. That's amazing. So almost animation is done. Now what next? You just click on render. This is the most important part of your animation. What it will do is basically it will create, in this case it will create 130 pictures of this animation. I'm just telling what in my case what I do is basically I take those 130 pictures I will take those 130 pictures and combine them in any video editor. When those 130 pictures are combined in a sequence, it will create a very good animation. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the comments and I will answer them. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Thanks.